Doctors spend their life taking care of others, making split-second decisions, managing risk, and building trust every day. But what happens when they make decisions about their financial health? Today, on this special Doctors' Day, we are sitting with one of the best doctors and the best medical minds. But not to talk about medicine. We are talking about investing and wealth creation and how they manage both the worlds. Let's hear from the doctors how they bring the same discipline, care, and thoughtfulness the way they treat their patients while investing their money. So, Dr. Singh, how do you plan your investment and how do you look at financial market and opportunities, looking that you have very limited time from your profession?
Actually, as you told, we have very limited time. For that, we actually discuss with the expert actually, and on the advice of the expert, we used to invest in different mutual funds, basically.
Okay. So you, as I could understand, you take care of the research of some research house, and that's how you participate, or research house, or a mutual fund company, or you participate yourself.
No, actually, I don't participate myself.
See.
I take the advice of expert. I think expert might be doing research and all those things. But I take the help of research expert, and as per his opinion, I used to invest.
So, Dr. Suryakant, I'll request you something. Similar question: how do you manage time, and how, or you follow the research what your relationship manager gives you, or you also have your own analysis before taking any decision? How you do?
The second thing which you mentioned very well, that doctors are very busy. Yes, it is true, and we doctors we have very limited time. Rather, we have very little interest also in the knowledge and expertise related with the financial investment. So my take also that I have the expert come friends who suggest me, and I always ask them that please go very safe, please go very limited, whatever the income tax you see, this cutoff is coming, this much of amount you can invest. That's all. We don't do. We are the doctors professional. We are not businessmen. We don't want to earn much money. We have enough by our profession. So we are not in the process of making money. But we are just thinking of, as a professional, that we have to do income tax, such amount of can be invested, and that's how we take the help of our friend come expert.
Similarly, Dr. Rishi, what's your opinion? You also do the same thing, or you follow your own research, or have some time out of your busy schedule to do this?
I think most of my colleagues who are very senior doctors of the city will agree that at some point of time we all become financial, aware or financial literate.
Right.
But in medical profession, it comes too late. And we all think that the kind of knowledge, research, we all grow over a period of time, had it been available to us during our earlier years, then we would have probably, through sensible investments, would have a larger corpus now.
Right.
So that probably is the accuracy. But yes, when a period of time, because medical profession is a thing that, many productive years of your life till let's say 35, 40 years are spent in just training yourself. And to that point of time, the question of accumulating wealth does not concept. And wealth is also a concept that is, kind of, I would say, creating wealth is not the primary objective of medical profession. So people kind of think it as, in a little bit, not as a priority area.
Right.
But then when you grow up, you have families, you understand that it is an important part of validation of what you are doing.
Right.
So the knowledge comes late. And that's what I mean. If I have to tell my junior colleagues or my colleagues,
that was my question. What will you guide them?
Yeah. So I mean, you have to start early. You have to start small, but in a systematic way,
right?
So that you beat the simple bank interest or FD by investing in tools that really can beat the inflation in the long run. So I think they should invest early. But I mean, once we grow past 40, 45, then all of us kind of through our friends, through our managers, to our CAs, through our CAs, we do get some financial literacy, and then we like to play around with whatever little money we have accumulated.
Okay, that's too a very interesting point. I'll ask Mr. Singh also. Mr. Singh, what's your view on early stage investing, especially for doctors we are talking about? And secondly, whom do you rely about? You rely on CA, you rely on your financial expert, or the circle in which you operate, which is your colleagues, similar professional doctors and all?
जैसा कि हमारे सभी सीनियरों ने बताया कि हम लोगों को फाइनेंशियल का अवेयरनेस काफ़ी लेट आता है, बहुत लेट। तो उसमें भी जो हम लोगों का मेन गोल होता है कि इनकम टैक्स को सेव करना है, तो कैसे कैसे कहाँ प्लान करना है। और हम लोगों के जो फ्रेंड होते हैं जो कॉमन फाइनेंशियल उसमें इन्वेस्ट स्टॉक वगैरह में लगे होते हैं, उन लोगों के ओपिनियन हम लोग खुद निर्णय ले पाना संभव नहीं होता क्योंकि समय नहीं रहता हम लोगों के पास। तो लेट में हम लोग का वो आती है अवेयरनेस, तब तक अन्य प्रोफेशनल्स की तुलना में।
So, Dr. Harshvardhan, I will ask similar question but little different. Sir, Mr. Singh has said yes, because of his family and circles and CA primarily, who plays a very vital role. In your life, who has played a vital role for investing? Because when a lot of time we say our parents play a very important role in investing, because our parents do talk us about a sense of saving money. So you tell us about yours.
All of us here in this rolling discussion are from government sector. I believe, as much as I have witnessed myself in my own professional life, right from AIIMS Delhi to this point in time, this place in particular, that those, when you are in medical school, probably at that point in time, there crops up a sort of inclination as to whether I'm going forward from my UG to PG to postdoctoral to make money, or to serve, to learn. Maybe earning could go in tandem, or to contribute to the cause of my specialty in terms of teaching, training, research, patient care, capacity building. So all of us over here are from the government sector, public sector. Primarily those medics who were when growing in their early medical schools, by that time they have sort of inkling what I am going to make out of this profession. So those are in government, they are not particularly keen towards making money. If you ask me about investment plans or how do we look at investment plans, I believe the same brain that has been imbued with scientific temperament will reflexively adopt the same methodology. We'll look at the information very carefully, we'll analyze it with its research-oriented mind, and then probably will take evidence-based decision. And I think we all lean on the available literature. If you ask me, I would say when I used to have little idea about investment, and we think of that when you're growing, I mean, the beginning of career, when you have little more as the expenses are less. At this age, you have to spend more because kids are growing, parents are getting old, maybe kids are going to have studies. So the investment planning is somewhere in the early to mid career stage. And that point in time, when I was through that phase, I used to lean on the Economic Times, maybe Outlook Money, and also I studied a book by David Finkler, Finance for Non-Finance People. So I told you, because if I have to think of something or do anything, if I am going to be in any pursuit, by virtue of being trained in scientific discipline, the methodology will remain the same.
Oh, you are a perfect researcher. So, sir, in terms of investing, when it comes, so unlike our colleagues, we have some colleagues, Joe, who invest basis advice from the CA. As I could make out, you do your own research. So, how much time are you able to devote in a week, 10 or how many hours or how many minutes, and how easy this financial industry is to you? Because you can devote time, but you also need to have the nuances, because it requires a lot of effort to understand. Like for us, anything beyond paracetamol is tough. So, so like that.
I would say finance, as I told you ab initio, for the government doctors with governance service, probably will never be a first priority, because they are not there to make money out of it. That Dr. Rishi told very well. Nonetheless, we have our responsibility that we need to cater to. So when it comes for us to take a decision on this count, whatever as again I will quote Dr. Sethi, that we harp on maybe instinct, we harp on maybe from the peers' suggestions, we harp on the ongoing concurrent literature which is coming to us in tandem, and which somehow gave an insight to me that if I am earning 100 rupees per month, then this much has to be the running expenditure, and this much amount should go to investment. Out of investment, this much amount to tax saving instrument, this much amount non-tax saving instrument. If it's tax saving or non-tax saving, this much amount to capital linked market, this much non-capital linked market. So there's a formula, and depending upon each one's background expenses that they have to cater to, maybe their own family, extended family, they apportion the amount, and to what extent it has to go to guaranteed income, this little bit risky proposition of investment. So there are ways, and each one decides their own formula. And I discussed with my wife in the very beginning, and I thought, let us plan it that this person should go this way, this person should go in this way, so that we have a fine blend of all.
Very fine advice.
Very fine blend of all. Fine blend of all. You can't put all your eggs in one bucket.
Definitely not. Yeah, you shouldn't.
And sir, look, Mr. Sethi, this is a question for you, Dr. Sethi. As a doctor, yes, your profession or your professional career is fairly well long, but how you treat retirement planning, or how you think doctors think about their retirement planning, if you throw some light on that.
I can speak from personal experiences where I think that many of us go wrong. One thing is that, if I have to advise my children and my younger colleagues about how to change, we first have to, many a times we get confused in our early lives. Like someone says, like, invest in mutual funds. Someone says, no, mutual funds are too slow. Go aggressively, do your own research, invest in shares directly.
Right.
Some will say, no, the property will give you a better return. Some will say, invest in gold. But the fact is that all these instruments have different liquidity and different, kind of returns, and different spectrum of the time in which they will give you returns. So this kind of things we don't know. You invest in a property and it becomes a fixed asset. You want money out of it. It's not there for you.
Right.
So firstly, I think all of us should have a liquid versus a non-liquid kind of an assets allocation. And I'll quote a very interesting, observation that someone was talking about, that there was a study that says that in US, the best returns in the investment were actually done by were received by emergency nursing. Because once they invested in, let's say, a specific mutual fund, they had no time to go look back again. And it kept on recurring again and again. And those of us who were fiddling more with their money, trying to play around with, had lower returns.
Right.
So I think that if we introduce in our lives the power of compounding, and let's say, let's say a reasonable, and we can divide how aggressive we are in our investment appetite.
Right.
If we want to really play it safe, we can go for mutual fund investment that have less of risk low, and so we can. I think those in a click of a mouse we can have the past 5 years of return on any mutual fund performances. And then, the barest minimum, a 12% recurring return would be much, much better than putting your money in FD that, again, would be taxable and different when you get it. So I think all these things, and there are certain investment like your provident fund, it keeps on accumulating and you will get it at the retirement. So, we all have to plan, and it's very individual also, because, someone will want more money, liquidity by the time they retire.
Yeah.
But somebody would say, why should I wait for 60 years, 65 years to retire? I want to enjoy my money in my 50s.
Right,
So
right.
all these things should be taken into consideration before. I think that's what we have learned in making mistakes.
Dr. Singh, you also have different, like bucketing different asset classes, like something like equities, mutual funds, and other products, FDs, assets.
Yes, yes. As you discussed, we should not keep all the eggs in a single basket.
Right.
Similarly, my expert advised me. I have some fund in debt as a debt fund. A debt fund means less return,
Right.
least risk, you can say.
Right.
Return is 7 to 9% of
Very right, sir. Very right.
So I have some fund in as a debt fund, some in equity,
Right.
and larger portion of funds are in mutual fund actually. So by this we can diversify.
Sure.
I have some investment in this lands also, and I have some gold ETF also.
Wow.
It is very much diversified.
Yeah, you are touching multiple asset classes, and that's the right way actually to do in order to have your investments. You have multiple asset classes where you can participate. You said equity, you said mutual funds, real estate, or property, whatever you name it, and then obviously gold. Gold is, I think, in fact, gold is one asset class where I think our mothers has beaten us in terms of performance, because they have been investing in gold, and they have the gold has really done well. So, sir, what is your asset class, or anything different which you do compared to what what is coming out on the table?
You see, Abhishek, I agree totally with Dr. Rishi Sethi.
Yeah.
That it depends on individual's demand.
Right.
Suppose you don't have any family liability now.
Ji.
So now you can have a very leisure time to interact with the experts of property investment of the other investment. And suppose you are at the 50s and you see your son is just doing MBBS or any professional course, your daughter is also in, so you need more money at that time.
Right.
So I think this decision has to be taken according to your needs.
Right.
So whatever the need you have at that time, so I think one should plan. So I can suggest only to my younger doctors, because rightly mentioned by Dr. Sethi that we have done so many mistakes. Mm-hmm. For example, when I was pursuing my MD as a junior doctor in 1992, so on the advice of one of my friend's brother, I invested some money. And just after 2 years, there is a ghotala, a very popular ghotala called Harshad Mehta ghotala. So, and I lost everything. And then I actually made sorry about it. And then for next 20 years, I didn't dare to invest anything.
Okay.
So that was my personal thing.
Yes.
But I advised to my younger faculty colleagues, because younger people, because at that time when we were the junior doctors, we were not having that kind of income.
Right.
Now the income of our junior doctors, if you compare at that time, salary of our junior doctor, that is also too high.
Right.
So I think this is the right time when you just pass your MBBS and you are pursuing your MD, and you see suddenly you got married. After marriage, you saw your expenditures goes like this.
Multiply. Yeah.
Okay, so before marriage and after marriage, there is a lot of difference.
Unless you're marrying a doctor.
Yes, unless you marry a, then even then. Don't forget, Abhishek. Even then, yes, even then, if your partner is doctor or earning, even then, you have some special liability.
Sure,
Yeah. So I think, sure.
No, I was just worried what you were saying. Just wanted to add something.
Yeah.
So we have, as patients, when you are asking all these financial questions, we have these patients who diagnose their own disease, come up with their own treatment, which call the WhatsApp University or whatever you say,
Yes.
Google trained doctors. Similarly, when doctors start to give advices in financial sector, we also kind of have this. We can also fall in the same trap. We do all sorts of researches. This stock is going up, this stock is going down. But ultimately, you see when you invest in individual stocks,
Right.
I mean, it's very difficult for us to kind of in a sustainable way. It becomes kind of a instant gratification and validation playing around on a casino table. But I believe financial experts and larger institutions that do deep research into
Right.
either stocks and then invest in a mutual fund. I mean, it's better to have a very, very experienced person who is managing a large mutual fund category take care of your funds rather than you individually, or the advice of a brother or advice of a friend probably might, that's what I feel.
I think that's what we all wanted out here, sir. I think thanks everyone for your time.
Abhishek, thank you very much, you personally, and thank you HDFC for wonderful interaction for the doctors. I think first time I'm having exposure of such kind of financial interaction with doctors by any organization. So thank you very much at the very outset.
Thank you, doctors, for your experience and your stories and your insights, which has really inspired us. It is incredible to see how you manage your demanding profession and also your financial decision making. And most importantly, thank you for the kind of care, compassion, and commitment you bring to the lives of everyone day in, day out throughout your life. Wishing you all continued success. Happy Doctors Day.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.